BlizzCast, your official Blizzard podcast.
Welcome to the World of Warcraft portion of the first ever BlizzCast. I'm Drisk from the World of Warcraft community team. Working behind the scenes, actually, is Bornak to keep all this running for us. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming 2.4 patch, which features Sunwell Plateau raid instance. And to help explain some of that, lead designer Jeff Kaplan. Welcome, Jeff. How's it going?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here.
Very good. So tell us a little about Sunwell Plateau, like where it fits in as far as progression, I guess, in Burning Crusade. It's obviously a raid dungeon. Is it coming after Black Temple?
Sure thing. The raid aspect of it is definitely a progression to Black Temple. We're tuning it for people in Tier 6 gear. However, there's not an attunement on the front door. The first 3 bosses are accessible by everybody. However, they will be tuned for Tier 6, but there's a lot more to Sunwell Plateau than just a raid dungeon, too.
And what kind of reputation are we looking for? Is there going to be a reputation associated with Sunwell Plateau, or is it Elder Scryer?
There's a reputation associated with the whole Sunwell Isle. So the Isle has not just the raid dungeon, which is the Sunwell Plateau, but it also has a 5-person instance, which is the Magister's Terrace, which can be normal and heroic. And there's also a whole hub of quests that are going to be daily quests, and that hub actually gets built up by the players over time. And there's a reputation associated with all of these things called the Shattered Sun Offensive. And what that is the culmination of the Scryer and Aldor storyline. The two groups have finally banded together, a continuation of that scene that was playing out in the inn in Area 52. They're now banded together to drive out the Burning Legion, who are inhabiting the Sunwell, which has been reignited. So we think it'll be really exciting. Shatrath, a lot of the NPCs will be changed that were previously either Scryer or Aldor specific to Shattered Sun Offensive NPCs, so Blood Elves and Draenei, like those soldiers out front by the Flight Masters. You'll actually see them change.
Right.
So it should be pretty cool.
Okay. Very good. And what's the gear level that you're going to be getting out of Sunwell Plateau? Is it an actual Tier 7, or is it equal to Tier 6, I guess?
It will be definitely a tier above Tier 6, so Tier 7 gear. However, there's not class-specific sets in terms of armor looks. There definitely will be class-specific armor and armor set bonuses, right, but the looks will be shared across armor type. So, for example, Plate will have a Paladin version and a Warrior version, and there will be some color differences there, but it's not a completely unique look between the two.
Okay, and that's kind of like, I guess, AQ was to some degree, right?
Yeah, on Encourage 40, although we really are planning to do the itemization a lot better than we did with Encourage 40,
right,
so people can rest assured.
Okay, let's go back to the 5-person dungeon. What's the difficulty of that? Where does that kind of fall in line, I guess, with the other 5-persons? What's the gear that they're going to expect to get out of it? The
all-important, what's the loot question.
Right.
Difficulty-wise, we're tuning it to be a max-level dungeon, so level 70. We expect it to be a more difficult max-level dungeon, but not by much. Around the difficulty, I would say, of Shadow Labyrinth or Shattered Halls, somewhere around there. It will also have a heroic mode, which will be on par in difficulty with our other heroics.
Okay.
And in terms of loot, what we'll be dropping in the normal version, you'll get 115 Dungeon Blues off the first 3 bosses, which is just normal level 70 dungeon loot.
Right.
But the last boss will drop a 110 epic item, which is on par with a Karazhan epic, like a lower level Karazhan epic.
Sure.
In heroic mode, they'll drop lower level Karazhan epics off of every boss, and the final boss will drop an item that's on par with Prince Malchezaar Karazhan epic. So a really good epic item at the end of the heroic. We realized because this dungeon is coming later in the sort of Burning Crusade cycle, it's very important that the loot be relevant to people who are playing the game now. And for people who came into Burning Crusade late, this will give them the opportunity to have a little bit of a catch-up to all the players who have been doing the arena or participating in our PvE content. So it's kind of win-win. Or if people want to gear up an alt really quickly, this will be a good place to do that. And of course, because it's only a 4-boss dungeon, the 5-person one is, it's not like you can fully equip a character in this type of gear. There are only so many slots represented.
Right. And just to change gears to, I guess, a broader overview of 2.4, what else can we expect? You mentioned some daily quests, obviously associated with Sunwell Plateau. We're looking at any sort of other content aside from the people that are getting into the raids. Obviously, the 5-person dungeon stuff is going to be great for almost anybody, but is there anything else that's going into 2.4, I guess?
There's going to be a lot of little things in 2.4. Right now, 2.3 went live recently, so we're evaluating class balance. We don't want to do any drastic changes in 2.4 until we see how some of our 2.3 balance changes played out. So you can expect changes there. We're doing other small things like raising the daily quest limit. Right now it's at 10 quests per day.
Right.
We're blowing that out to 25 quests a day.
Very cool.
It was never a design limitation. It was more of a technical limitation on how many things that we could track on the server at any one time. So that will open up a lot of content for players, just being able to do more daily quests per day. Mm-hmm. And then we're also looking into many small but really beneficial user interface improvements. To give a very tiny small example, we're improving the ready check. So when a raid leader clicks on the ready check button, everybody who has raid leader or assistant raid leader privileges will be able to see who's responded ready and who's AFK and who's not ready. A little bit more responsiveness and feedback in the system. A lot of things like that going into 2.4.
Okay, well, thank you very much. This has been Jeff Kaplan. I'm Drisk from the World of Warcraft community team, and thank you for listening.
Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us in our first ever BlizzCast episode. Because this series is designed to take you, our Blizzard fans, behind the scenes, we want to hear what you guys want to see, as well as any other feedback you would like to send us. Please send the feedback to blizzcast@blizzard.com. On top of that, we do have some goodies for you as well. We have 12 Logitech G51 5.1 surround sound speakers, along with some StarCraft 2 hats sitting here in the community room looking for a new home. So I've decided I'll be sending these out to 12 lucky winners who send us feedback email. More details and rules will be on the BlizzCast webpage. I look forward to reading your responses and hope to have you guys join us in our next episode, in which I hope to steal some time from our Blizzard lore guy, Chris Medson, and perhaps some of the original Diablo 2 devs for some quick questions. This is Karun, your community manager, signing off.